Breaking news. To stop the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Zelensky wants Trump to not waste time in presenting a proposal. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who is currently in the United States for the United Nations General Assembly and a series of meetings in Washington, has criticized Donald Trump for promising to swiftly end the Russian invasion without offering up many specifics. He can publicly share his idea now, not waste time, not to lose people, Mr. Zelensky told CNN on Tuesday. The president of Ukraine expressed concern that Donald Trump's peace plan would involve ceding territory to Russia. Mr. Zelensky said, "How to tame part of our territory and how to give it to Putin. That is not a peace formula, or global idea of peace." The ex-president of the United States has claimed that he can broker a deal between Mr. Zelensky and Vladimir Putin in a matter of days, if not hours, to end the conflict in Ukraine. Mr. Trump expressed his delight at Mr. Putin's praise of this outlook in a recent interview with NBC. "Well, I'm glad he made that observation." Mr. Trump argued that this proved his point. The Ukrainian leader also addressed House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a prominent Republican who is embroiled in a contentious internal party fight over government spending, a portion of which revolves around providing additional aid to Ukraine. The White House is requesting $24 billion for security and humanitarian aid, but Mr. McCarthy has said he would rather vote on Ukraine funding as a standalone bill. Is Zelensky a lawmaker now? Is he the head of state? "I don't think I have to commit anything and I think I have questions for him," Mr. McCarthy told ABC News on Tuesday. "Why isn't anyone being held responsible for the money we've already spent? Tell me the strategy for winning. That's what the public in the United States really wants to know," he continued. Mr. Zelensky has announced his intention to meet with Mr. McCarthy, citing the unique nature of the Ukraine war in contrast to typical domestic politics. "But, war is different," he told CNN. Conservative Republicans in the House have spoken out against providing any more aid to Ukraine, while more moderate Republicans and Democrats, especially in the Senate, have advocated for maintaining aid at this time. On Tuesday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed renewed resolve to condemn the Russian invasion of Ukraine at this week's General Assembly meeting by asking the United Nations why it still gives Russian terrorists a seat at the table. Zelensky said, "It's a question to all the members of the United Nations, as to whether or not the organization has a place for Russian terrorists." These remarks were made by Zelensky at Staten Island University Hospital in New York, where he had come to visit injured Ukrainian soldiers. The hospital currently houses 18 members of the Ukrainian armed forces who all lost limbs during the conflict in Ukraine. Close. You've been signed up successfully. Sign up for additional newsletters here. Policy and political developments as of late. Mailbox Direct. Join the Department of Defense and National Security mailing list. Before the start of the United Nations General Assembly meeting on Tuesday, the Ukrainian president, who arrived in the U.S. on Monday, met with soldiers and posed for pictures with them. The UN Security Council must not be held hostage by Moscow, Zelensky has argued repeatedly, which is why he last year called for Russia to be removed from the council. When Russia took over as chair of the Security Council earlier this year, he criticized the body as well. The world's leaders will hear from Zelensky on Tuesday and at a Security Council meeting on Wednesday. On Tuesday, President Biden spoke in New York, where he strongly criticized Russia's invasion and claimed the conflict in Ukraine cast a dark shadow over the entire globe. In his address to the United Nations, the American president emphasized the importance of standing up to this naked aggression today, in order to discourage future aggression. On Thursday, Zelensky will meet with Vice President Biden at the White House before the Ukrainian president visits Capitol Hill.